everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecolored.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I've been making today. A couple of Saturdays ago, husband and I went to a friend's wedding party, and for their wedding gift we wanted to give them some vouchers for a spa experience, and the vouchers came in a business-sized envelope, and rather than just hand over a rather boring looking envelope, perhaps with a bit of silver ribbon around it, I thought, well, I'm just going to make a nice wallet for that to fit into. So this is it. This is what I've done, and if you stay with me, I will show you how I made it. These are the things that I'm going to be using today. I have a piece of Whisper White card. This is ordinary Whisper White. I could have used the thick Whisper White. And I've got the full width of a piece of A4, and I've cut it to 9 inches. So my piece is about 8 1/4 by 9 inches. I've cut another piece of Whisper White, and this is 3 1/2 inches by 10 inches. I have some silver foil, which I'm going to be die cutting. And I'm going to be using the Sunshine Sayings Thinlits to do the die cutting. I'm going to begin by scoring my card, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and also at 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Or I could have done it the other way. I could score at 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 inch. And I'm going to do that on 3 sides. So 1/2 inch. I don't know why I prefer to start at the 1/2 inch and then come back to the 3/8 of an inch. Right, so that's that piece done, and this piece, I'm going to make sure that I've got this so that the 9 inch side is at the top. No, I don't. I'm going to bring in my other piece, and I'm going to make sure that the shorter side is at the top, and I'm going to score at 4 1/2 inches. Now I don't want these little squares in the corners here, so I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to get rid of them. So I'm just going to snip these away, and I'm going to get a little triangle out of the corner. I'm just going to miter the corners just like that. And actually it would have been quicker if I'd just gone straight across just like that, but you do it however you like. So next thing is I'm going to do some burnishing. When I find my bone folder, here it is, and I'm just going to burnish those creases. So I've got the one at 1/2 inch and the one at 3/8 of an inch. So what I'm making here is I'm giving myself a little bit of space in this part here. Can you see? So it's got a little bit of a spine there, and it just gives me a little bit of extra room to put my gift envelope in. And this is good. And there it is. Right, I'm just going to apply some tear and tape. It's a brand new row along these edges here, carefully, making sure that it doesn't go where I don't want it to. That way. And there we go. That's now ready to go onto the front of my wallet. I'm just going to burnish these folds as well. I've only taken the backing part way off the tear and tape because that is going to give me a little bit of time to manoeuvre my wallet into place against the edges of the base here. Okay, I'm just taking a little bit of time, taking it easy, and just gently easing things into place. I'm trying to make it so that you can see what I'm doing, because when you're doing this it's very, very easy to forget that you want people to see things, because you try and get things up right up under your nose. At least I do anyway, because the old eyesight ain't what it used to be, guys. Okay, so I'm reasonably happy with that. So let me bring in my test envelope here and see if that fits in, and it does, and that's a nice neat fit. There we are, that's better. That caught on the edge there, and that flaps over just like that. I want a particular sentiment to go onto the front of my wallet, and I don't have a stamp that says what I want to say. I wanted to say love is in the air, and I don't even think that Stampin' Up make a stamp with that on. I could be wrong, but I don't think so, and even if they do, I don't actually have it. So there is a way that I can get that sentiment onto the front of my wallet and for it to look good. And I'm going to use a product called Saffmat. This is it. It doesn't look very exciting, but what it is a clear self-adhesive film that is inkjet printable. Okay, now it used to be made by Letraset. They don't make it anymore. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to peel back a corner to show you, with very little success actually. It'll work in a minute, I know it will. There it is, there it goes. Okay, so that is what it looks like. It's kind of it's translucent, but when you apply it to your card it sort of blends in with the background and becomes almost invisible. Now, as I said, Letraset don't make it anymore. Now, if you're like me and you buy stuff and you put it away in your stash and you forget about it for years, perhaps you've got some of this at the back of your cupboard. But even if you haven't, an alternative is self-adhesive labels. Now, you can buy inkjet printable label material that is clear. And if you can't get hold of Saffmat, then that is a good alternative. All right, but as I happen to have Saffmat and I don't actually have any clear inkjet labels at the moment, I'm out of them, then that is what I've used. So how do I use it? Okay, so the first thing I do is I decide on my sentiment, the words that I want to use. Let me put that out of the way for a moment, and in this case it's love is in the air, and I've printed it off using my my printer, and this font is called Scriptina, I think, just in case you're interested. And when I've done that, the next thing that I do is I get my little bit of Saffmat, which I will cut so that it is just about big enough to go over the top. Okay, because I don't want to use a whole sheet, because A, it's hard to get hold of these stuff in now, and B, it's not super expensive, but on the other hand, you know, you don't want to be wasting it. Now, the labels that I have on order at the moment, they cost, it was a full sheet, and it's 10 of them. So basically the label is A4 size, okay, and there are 10 of them, and that cost me, I think, about £18. So they worked out at about £1.80 each, which doesn't sound too bad, but you have to buy 10 of them. All right, now they will last me for years and years and years and years, so I don't really mind paying that much for them. But on the other hand, I don't really want to be wasting any of it. So what I've done is I put tear and tape down over my words here, and I've got my cut piece of saff mat, label, whatever it is I'm using, and I'm just going to stick that right over the top of those words, and I'm sticking it down well. It's a random piece of something that's got caught in there. Okay, so I'm making sure that that's well stuck down, and now I'm going to go over to my printer and I'm going to run that through my printer, and there's the result. And I'm going to pull that away, and I'm not bothered about it tearing the paper because that's done its job now, so I can get rid of that. And I could stick this on as it is, but I am going to trim it a little bit closer. Just going to follow the lettering, and it just makes the backing a little bit harder to see. There's my email whistling away at me. Forgot to turn it off, and I don't know if you can hear any other noises off, but outside my living room window across the road there's a circus going on, and they've just started for the evening performance. Okay, so I'm going to take the saff mat away from the backing, or the backing away from the saff mat, or the label material, however, whatever it is you're using. Okay, just going to pull that away, and I'm going to position this where I want it to be, and bone folder does a very good job. And as you burnish it, the backing sort of blends into the card, and it looks as though it was printed directly on the card. I've die cut 2 hearts out of the silver foil, and before I ran them through the Big Shot, I backed the foil with some double-sided adhesive sheet. We don't have it yet, but it is coming, okay, in the new catalogue, which comes into play on the 1st of June. We have the double-sided adhesive sheet, and I'm going to snip just across there on that one, and I'm going to take off some of the adhesive backing, not all of it, and I'm just going to position that sort of where I want it. I don't know if you can hear noises off, but there is the city recreation ground is kind of right outside my living room window, and the circus is in town. So if you can hear noises, I'm not sure how much the microphone's going to pick up, but I can hear them loud and clear. And it's the only thing with adhesive tape is the backing. Get the backing off. Come on, you devil. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to link those two together where I want them. Come on. See, they're playing jazzy piano music now, and I have completely lost my concentration. There you go. Let's put that one, stick that one down, stick that one over it. Okay. Let's do a little bit of fine manoeuvring here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cover up that break. Not very successfully. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to do one more thing. I'm just going to bring in a corner rounder, and I'm going to round off those edges. And not 100% essential, but I think it just adds a little bit of extra finish to it. And there it is, there's the finished wallet, and I very much hope that our friends will enjoy their wedding gift from us, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. And if so, then please do come back and join me again. I will be posting more very soon. But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.